Hey everybody, this is Jasmine from A Notch Higher Living YouTube channel. I wanted to share a little bit differently today. I typically come on and state that the channel's purpose is to create spaces in an environment where healthy relationship skills can be learned, developed, practiced, and ultimately thrive. And I realized I was just like, I'm looking at the camera again. I realized like people may not know what that means. So I wanted to share a little bit about what that means for me and why I'm sharing with a YouTube station or YouTube channel. So creating an environment, creating a space where healthy relationship skills can be learned, developed, practiced, and ultimately thrive, it ultimately means that there are places and spaces where we don't have an opportunity to become better at creating healthy relationship skills and healthy relationships and to refine or develop or look at those skills. So if it seems a little redundant, what I'm attempting to say is that relationship skills are very important in life. That is something that I've learned and I know to be true. When I look at things over my life or the timeline of my life, I realize that relating to people is not simply a default that automatically turns healthy. I have a large family and I've talked to my siblings, my mom, my dad is no longer with us, but even my nieces and nephews. And at a certain point in time, we have come to a conclusion or and friends as well. I have people around me, but what I realize it's not simply enough to have people around you or me to develop a healthy way to relate to others. It's something that has to be practiced. It's something that has to be focused on. It's something that has to be developed. I actually listened to, and I've been listening to Eric Thomas, E.T. Inspires, the hip hop preacher. He's originally from Chicago, but he lists Detroit too as his hometown. So I'm a Detroit native. And he's been very motivational in a challenging way. And I'm going to link his video actually in this episode because he has challenged me in a way that I already was coming up to myself to say, I need to have a routine. I need to have something that I focus on that I do consistently. So if you're asking, what does that have to do about healthy relationship skills or that environment? I'm glad you asked, because it's everything that has to do with healthy relating skills and communication style with myself and with others. Because one, if I'm not consistent at doing something over time, I won't be able to develop the practice and ultimately be able to thrive because I'm not developing in that healthy way. So let's say it this way. Dr. Thomas, he said, my life is where it is because of the percentage that I'm giving it. So if I am only giving 50% in the way that I show up for myself and for others, I cannot expect to have 100%. And that many times is what I have observed for myself and others that I've related to or are relating with. That's what I've chosen to do. It's not the best choice, and it's not even a choice that really makes sense, because if I want to have a different outcome, I'm going to have to put in a different input. So the reason why I'm taking time today to say this, because I am coming on this channel to give myself a challenge. And it's almost September the 1st. It is August the 30th, 2021. And what I have been thinking about and what I have been preparing myself is this fourth quarter. So Q4 is what they will call it in the business world. And I said to myself, what would my life look like if I provided myself a strategy or a routine that I do every day, that I am consistent at keeping, not to impress anyone else, but because of the input, expect a specific output. And what I realize is that it's not going to be something that anybody else, when I say will benefit, they won't ultimately benefit from me doing the work, like getting up early, doing a workout. Necessarily, that's not their benefit, initial benefit for someone else. However, ultimately, someone else, the people that I have around me, will benefit because I will be more present, I will be more alert, more focused, and more consistent in the way that I am showing up with myself. So once I am doing that, I can be that for other people. So the reason why I wanted to explain this about this channel is I am going to give myself a challenge, and I wanted to record it because it would be so easy for me just to put it in my little journal and make it happen on my own. But I figured if I would say this out loud, being the book nerd that I am, let's look at this. I found a website that has Book Nerd. And for the rest of quarter four, so Q4, starting September 1, I am going to put in a consistent routine for myself. And what I will do is I'm going to give back the results once I'm doing this. So I slowed down when I said that, but I will challenge myself, but I also will be holding myself accountable by putting this video out. This video hasn't even been edited. This hasn't been something that's really spectacular, but what I realize is that the person that typically holds me back from moving forward is me. But before I gave myself this, I want to say this beating of such and making myself feel bad, I wanted to also encourage myself and you as well, anyone that's listening, because what I realized is that there are pockets in my life where when I focused and when I did have a consistent routine, I did see favorable and successful outcomes. So I started looking at those pockets and those times and those periods and those spaces where I did apply consistent relating to myself and or the experience, and they were healthy outcomes, or they were successful outcomes, or they were beneficial outcomes. So what I figured to do for this Q4 and beginning September the 1st through December 31st is to give myself a challenge and being consistent. What I loved about Dr. Thomas's his message is that it's straight to the point. And he said something that really inspired me and motivated me to put this out. He said he made it up. Sometimes we're waiting for someone else to do something for us, but what he just encouraged us to do is make it up. So I can make up this routine. I can make up the consistent schedule. I can make up a challenge for myself and not wait for all the stars to align to do it. But what I can do is get up, be consistent, don't give up, and keep doing it. So that's the name of this video, because Dr. Thomas's video is Keep Doing It. One day I hope to meet Dr. Thomas. I just took his, his execution assessment. The reason why I'm putting this out is because this is something that I just recently took, and it's again going along with the YouTube channel of creating a space where healthy relationships skills can be learned, developed, practiced, and ultimately thrive. So I learned that my personality bent, or my natural style, I am a high on the DISC assessment. I am a high level I, meaning very interactive. There are other, and I have S. I'm not going to try to explain everything, but go on his website, and it is a very helpful assessment, because what I'm doing in learning myself, I'm garnering my superpower to be able to be self-aware so that I can show up for myself and I can show up being present for other people. So ultimately, when I know what my superpower is and I can be aware of what other people's superpower is, that will be something where relating to others and relating in our interactions will become even better. They will be better formulated to thrive because I'm not looking for someone to be me, and I'm not ultimately trying to be someone else, or they're not trying to do the same with me. So the reason why, again, I wanted to share this is that the reason for this channel is for there to be a space, for there to be a place that's cultivated. And I love the word cultivate because cultivate is a farming term, but it's not something that's instantaneous. And in my high I personality style, sometimes it's like I'm engaging and, I love to be in the energizing or inspiring. But with that, to stabilize myself in the consistency and the consistent movement of the day in and day out, it may not always feel or seem like it's inspiring at the time, but what I have even learned from myself in certain things that I have done, if I stay the course, that's really ultimately what inspires me. So for this channel, August the 30th, 2021, I don't have thousands of subscribers, and that's not ultimately what I have to have internally. What I do want to have is the people who are wanting to have better relationships and to be able to have better relating skills for themselves, for their family, and for their friends. I want to find that tribe. I want you to find me, and I want us to be able to learn together, to practice together, develop together, and then to ultimately thrive together. What I realize and I understand by listening to Dr. Thomas is that it's not something, this environment is not going to just happenstance or come together by happenstance. It's not going to be a default. It has to be healthy by design. It's going to be more information that I have coming on that, but ultimately, I want to put it out there that I am going to, in this last quarter for 2021, challenge myself to be consistent so that ultimately, and I'm using the term ultimately a lot, I'm going to say it's my inspiring, gregarious personality, but either way, I really want to see there to be a different result because I put in a different input. So if you're wanting to continue with this channel, please like, comment, and subscribe. Share it with someone else too. But what I would like to do is to challenge you also for the end of this year to give yourself a challenge to be consistent as well. We can come in and we can touch base and to see how each other are doing. So again, this is a Notch Higher Living YouTube channel, creating a space and environment where healthy relationships can be learned, developed, practiced, and ultimately thrive. Until next time, you all have a great one and an amazing day.